Barcelona 4, Getafe 0, and a great performance from Barcelona. I was expecting it to be much more difficult for Barcelona, but they found a lot of space in behind. Rafinha, even though he did miss a couple chances, he was great. He was the difference for Barcelona today with the goal and an assist, and overall, just a great performance from Barcelona. And it might be recency bias, but that might be one of my top 5 games for Barcelona this season, and maybe some people say it's Barcelona at home against Getafe, but with the way that Barcelona have been playing, they just haven't been able to create chances. They haven't been able to play very freely, and it's not been very enjoyable to watch Barcelona play this season. And today, it was very different. And I think Xavi got the lineup right. He did take one midfielder out and put an attacker on, which I think was the right play for Barcelona because, of course, they had around 80% possession. So it was more likely that Barcelona were going to retain a lot of the ball this game. So it was a good idea to bring on an attacker and make it 3 attackers because sometimes when there are 4 midfielders on the team, Barcelona just find it difficult to get in behind and to create chances. But today, Barcelona did not struggle with that at all. They had so many chances this game. And again, people might say it's just Getafe, but think about the standards that we're used to with Barcelona this season. They have continued to underperform. And in this game, they just dominated for the entire 90 minutes, even though in the first half it was just 1-0, but they really had so many chances. They could have easily finished off the game a little bit earlier, but again, when you're creating so many chances and you end the game 4-0 up, it's a really good sign. And with the way that Barcelona have been playing, it's great to see that result. And one player that I think a lot of people are going to be talking about is Frenkie de Jong, and rightfully so, because he was great today, just carrying the ball forward, doing everything that he does so well, and he had a lot of freedom with Christensen alongside him. I think that just gets the best out of his abilities, because I think there were some question marks around Frenkie de Jong this season, but that's when there was no defensive midfielder on the field. And today we saw how good he can be. And it was also really nice to see Frenkie de Jong on the score sheet because he doesn't score very often, and he deserved a goal for that performance. So that was great to see as well. And then another player I wanted to talk about was Rafinha, because I think it does summarize everything that he gives, because I think he makes great runs. And when he's not on the field, Barcelona do miss that directness. And even though, look, he had a couple chances that maybe he could have done better on, sometimes he could have passed it to João Felix, and the one time that he passed to João Felix, he did, it was a little bit heavier than it should have been. But still, I think he does add a lot to the team, even though sometimes it's frustrating to watch, and maybe sometimes he can be a little bit wasteful. But he had that goal that he scored today was great, one-on-one with the keeper, but he had to keep his composure and curl it around him. And then also for the assist that he had to Frenkie de Jong was great. And then also he set up the second goal as well. He had a great through pass to Andreas Christensen, who sweated to João Felix. That was great. And that's, I think, everything that Rafinha can give to Barcelona. And he's always working. He's always making runs in behind. Sometimes his decision-making is in question to Barcelona fans. But again, he did decide the game for Barcelona. He had a goal and an assist, and he set up the second goal as well. So overall, and that's just coming back from injury. He hasn't had a start since he came back from injury. So that was great to see. And of course, he did have a lot of space in behind. And sometimes when it is a lower block, which I thought Getafe would be playing, when it is a lower block, sometimes Rafinha struggles, but again, I think overall Barcelona do struggle in those games anyways. And I've never thought that Rafinha is a bad player, but I did say that if Barcelona receive a 70 million offer in the summer for Rafinha, I would be thinking about it. But again, he's a great player to have on the team. And in games like this, he does show his quality because a goal and assist, he did decide the game for Barcelona today. And another player I wanted to talk about was Pau Cubarsí, because I still cannot believe that he is 17 years old. The class and the quality that he shows every single time he's on the field for Barcelona, it's incredible. He's Barcelona's best ball-playing center back that they have at the club. And I mean, it's not like they have bad center backs already. And Cubarsí, at 17 years old, he's forced his way into the starting lineup. And especially in games where Barcelona are going to have a lot of possession, they're going to hold a lot of the ball. To have Cubarsí come onto the field at 17 years old, that is incredible. And he has started, I would say, 6 out of the last 7 games for Barcelona, and he's looked in his place every single time. And, Barcelona's defense has been all over the place, but to come in at 17 years old and provide some security to Barcelona, it just shows how good Cubarsí is. And even though he's just 17 years old, just this run of games, it does show that he has the ability to be in Barcelona's first team. And I think Barcelona can count on him to be one of the center backs in the first team next season. And Fermín López came on and he looks great. It was nice to see him get a goal, and he just hasn't been getting that many minutes recently. And I don't think that's really Xavi's fault. I just think Barcelona have had a lot of important games, and when you have Pedri, Frenkie de Jong, and Gundogan, and then you're also putting Christensen as a defensive midfielder, Fermín López, he's not going to be able to get that many starts, but it was nice to see him get some minutes, and he had a great performance. It was also nice to see him get the goal. And one situation that I wanted to talk about was Vitor Roque, because I don't necessarily think it's Xavi's fault, but I just don't understand every single time he's coming onto the field, he's being played as a right winger or a left winger. I just don't know why Barcelona put so much effort to bring him in January just to play him out of position. And it's not like he's starting games, and I understand you wanted depth, but I just think it's unfair for Vitor Roque to come on and play out of position, because he doesn't get the best out of his abilities on the wing. And Vitor Roque got about 15 minutes today, and he was played as a right winger. Again, I understand Xavi wanting to bring him onto the field, but why play him out of position? I would much rather Lewandowski be taken out and Vitor Roque being able to play in his natural position, because that's where his long-term future at Barcelona lies. And I just don't think he does anything really on the wing. I just think it's not getting the best out of his abilities. And you want someone at that age to have a lot of confidence in their abilities. So I just don't think Barcelona are handling that situation very well. And again, they had so much effort to bring him in the January window. So why are you going to be playing him out of position? I just don't understand that. And maybe in this game, Xavi didn't want to bring on Lamine Yamal because he's been playing so many minutes recently. So he didn't have another right winger to bring on. So he just said, Vitor Roque, go play in that position. But I would much rather Barcelona switch to a two-striker formation if you want to take out Rafinha. I mean, Lewandowski and Vitor Roque can play together off of each other. I just don't think that him as a right winger, it's really doing anything for Vitor Roque right now. And overall, I do think it was a great performance from Barcelona. I think Getafe did make it pretty easy. I thought they were going to make it much more difficult and play a lot deeper, but Barcelona had so much space in behind. It was just, they could work through the middle a little bit, and then they had a long ball release to Rafinha, and he was in, I would say, 4 times in that exact same run. Like just a curling ball to the middle of the field. Rafinha was on it. João Felix was running with him, and Barcelona did only score 1 goal in that situation, but they had so many opportunities just like that. So it is great to see Rafinha getting in behind because he does add that to the team. And I know some people might say it's Getafe at home. You expect Barcelona to win that game, but honestly, not with the way that the season's been going because they've made it really difficult in games. And in a lot of games, it's taken a last-minute winner to get 3 points for Barcelona. But they were so dominant today. Really, Getafe didn't have any chances in this game. And Barcelona had so many chances to score even more goals. But that's what we're used to with Barcelona when they score so many chances. And it's not like it's make or break if they miss a chance because you think, again, they're going to have more chances going into this game because they're going to continue to dominate. And that's what they did today. And yes, maybe in bigger games against better opponents, they're not going to have that many chances. So the chances that they did miss in the first half, they might come back to bite Barcelona. But again, I'm not really too worried if Barcelona continue to miss chances because I do think that's Xavi setting up his system well to get the best out of Barcelona players. And again, the chances that Barcelona missed, they have missed a lot of chances this season, but I think that's just sometimes a lack of quality in the front line for Barcelona. But again, that's going to come. I think I'm not too worried as long as Barcelona are creating a lot of chances in this game. In this game, they definitely did that. And overall, players like Frenkie de Jong, Fermin Lopez, Christensen, Kubarsi, they were all incredible in this game. And it was really nice to see players like Hector Fort, Fermin Lopez, Vitor Roque, even though it was on the wing, also getting minutes in this game. And this is a team at the beginning of the season that Barcelona really struggled against. Obviously, Barcelona should have got the win anyways because of that Gavi fluke game, whatever. We're not going to talk about the referee today. But, I mean, it was a game that Barcelona really struggled in. And this game, they were so dominant for the entire 90 minutes. It didn't look like they were going to lose the game. Even though they were missing a lot of chances in the first half, they didn't look like they were going to lose this game. And they continued in the second half, created a lot of chances for themselves. And luckily, in the second half, they had 3 goals. And overall, it's a performance with a lot of positives to it. And it also showed that Barcelona can play with 3 attackers if they have a defensive midfielder. I think if they have Christensen and then Frenkie de Jong and Gundogan or Pedri in front of them, I think that would work really well. And I think in the bigger games, Xavi would, he does tend to play it safer, so he would go with 4 midfielders. But it was nice to see that Christensen as a defensive midfielder in a midfield 3, it also works. And of course, in the bigger games that Barcelona play this season, you're probably not going to have 80% possession and create that many chances for Barcelona. But again, Barcelona really have struggled against the smaller teams in La Liga. And Getafe are 10th in La Liga. They're having a pretty decent season. So it was nice to see Barcelona so dominant in the game today. And overall, I think Barcelona should be really happy with that performance. For me, it was one of the most enjoyable games to watch for Barcelona. They were just creating so many chances. They had so much space, and they were just passing really well. They were playing off each other very well, so it was really enjoyable to watch. And as always, thank you very much for watching my video. It was great to see Barcelona get that win today, and thank you for all the comments and the likes. I really do appreciate all of it.